Welcome to the full guide on how to start a short form content agency in 2023. This is the updated version because obviously a lot's happened, a lot of things have changed, and there's a lot more offers now that the previous was. Short form content alone isn't going to work. You're never going to be able to scale as far as you want to unless you're a massive personal brand, which most of you aren't. So I'm going to show you the new offers at the end of this video, every single one, and how to obviously service deliver for them. So stick around for that because that's what's going to take your agency to the next level. Them new converting offers and stuff like that to actually monetize and get a direct ROI on your offer, which will allow them to really see what you're doing and obviously pay you because of that, instead of hoping for views and hoping for stuff that isn't really bringing them a direct ROI that they can sort of track and see if you're actually doing a good job or not. So this is the updated version. I'm going to go and run through it now, and obviously I hope you guys enjoy. So what is a short form content agency and how has it changed? A short form content agency produces short form content to clients. Pretty simple, right? They have the ability to add services such as scripting, funnels, monetization systems, email marketing, etc. to make their offer unique. And I'm going to obviously, like I said, show you them sort of offers at the end of the video to obviously land more clients. But it is core. You're pretty much clipping short videos and editing them to keep the viewer engaged and reach more people to grow the client's account. Okay, with everyone sort of having short of attention spans and everyone's using like TikTok, Reels, Shorts, whatever. That's why you need to be producing short form content. This is what you're going to be doing for them. But like I said, freelancers can do short form content. They can do short form content themselves. And that's why we need to change and differentiate ourselves from what we were doing maybe a few months back, which was working. Okay. So now, since my last short form content video, my agencies have changed a lot. And most of what I said does not really apply anymore, okay? Just because of how popular it became to how simple the process is. Now short form content alone is a freelancer's game if they've taken over, which means it will, if you want to be a profitable short form content agency, you need to adapt and become a real business owner with a real offer, okay? This is why if you're running or thinking about running a short form content agency, I'd recommend you watching this video throughout so you can stay ahead of the curve and really scale to 10K a month and well beyond that mark, okay? Right now, me and Luke are pushing towards 30K a month. If you don't know us, we're doing 10 to 15 at the moment. We're pushing to 30K a month with one of our new offers, which I'm going to show you at the end. So yeah, there's no way that we would have been able to do it with just short form. So we've added on to some new systems and obviously created an offer around something that can actually scale to 30 and then obviously 50, 60, 70, 80, right? So that's obviously the goal for all of us because you don't want to cap yourself, and that's why short form content alone is not going to work, okay? So why you should run a short form content agency? Most agency owners right now are quite scared of running a short form content agency because of what people are saying. It's too saturated, but trust me, these lead gen or Facebook agencies are no different. And in my opinion, we'll go into more of a content model for like growing businesses, growing personal brands, and people that are trying to sell stuff. So you're always going to be in business, unlike other agencies that obviously I believe like AI is going to take over ads and stuff like that. And lead gen, there's only a certain amount of fucking brick and mortar businesses in the world, right? There's and no more are really going up because of obviously the digital space. So the people that tell you not to do it are just trying to sell you something, right? That's all I believe. I've literally seen business owners emails of they literally get 50 emails a day asking lead gen, or like, oh, we'll do this. Look, everywhere's going to be saturated. Everywhere's going to have people competing in there. So you've obviously got to change what you're doing, change sort of how you approach it, and obviously then you'll be able to sell. Okay, so it's also impossible to become oversaturated. I say this because if you run ads, there is little you can do. Obviously, to add on to your service, you just pretty much run ads. You can maybe add a funnel building and stuff like that, but it's quite hard to actually change what you're actually doing. Whereas short form content is ridiculous. Like I said at the end of the video, I'll show you how many things that you can add onto it to leverage and change your actual offer. Okay, it is also the easiest to sign clients when you leverage the right strategies. We landed a 2.2K deal the other day from a total inbound leads that he was like, just give me the invoice, because they see we're using the systems, we use ourselves, and it works. So there's so much to leverage. You get to a point where people will be running to you and your service, which again I'll obviously show you how to do, which is quite hard to do with ads and stuff like that. But with this, because you're pushing content and you're selling content, it's quite easy to get them inbound leads and obviously sell it from that perspective instead of having to outbound your whole life, right? So step one, I'm going to go over the short form content niches that you should be picking. So short form content niche. I'm so vehement about finding the right niche because people do not pick one. I remember at the start I didn't pick one because you think there's more people to reach out to. but that's completely wrong. You need to niche down inside of niche to get the most specific target audience ever, for a few reasons. Okay, without a perfect niche, we can't leverage direct results to be like, look, we've helped people in that exact position. So if you outreach to someone, let's say you're doing like a salon, but you're specializing in hair dye, right, or something like that, I don't know. But if you have something that specific, if you outreach to someone else and show, look, we've done this for this person, in their brain, they automatically think, okay, if they've done it for them, what they can do it for me as well. I'm running the same business, etc. They're making 80k a month, I'm making 40, and that's probably the jump that would actually make me 80. So then they'd sign on for you. You're making 5k and they're making an extra 40, right? So that's how that works. Have less competition from others. Obviously, if you're niching inside of a niche, you're going to be very, very niche down, and not many people are obviously going to be in the same niche as you. You can target them directly, so you can obviously have a direct database that you can go off of that is directly targeting who you want to target, because if you're collecting data from quite a big data set, it's going to be quite hard to be like, okay, does this work, does this work, does this work? If it's very niche down and direct, then you can obviously find out quite quickly what will work and what won't work, okay? Then you can build a system for perfect service delivery every single time. So what collect data and leverage, to scale. Like I said, you can collect the data and scale because you have that niche down data. Building a system for perfect service delivery every time. Once you've done it a few times for people, you know how the business model works. Most business models inside of a niche are very similar. They're all pretty much the same. If this works for that person, it'll probably work for the next person, right? Alex Hormozi, when he was doing gyms, he literally copy and pasted his strategy into every single gym, and it worked every single time. So once you find out inside that niche what works, then you can obviously go for that, okay? Hopefully that has made it clear as why it's important. So you should pick a niche and stick with it. This doesn't mean copy a niche or go with the first one that you see. This is a catalyst to how fast you're going to scale, okay? If you find a really good niche, you're going to scale a lot quicker. If you find a bad niche and copy someone else, then you're gonna be slower, okay? I would actually say this from the bottom of my heart. It would be better for you to pick a bad niche off the back of your own research than to copy someone else's niche. Because if you copy someone else, it's instantly oversaturated. Like instantly, there's nothing about it is going to be the most oversaturated thing ever, because the amount of people that see it and the amount of people that copy when they start. So make sure you're not copying, but you find it yourself, even if it is really bad at the start. The markers for a niche, okay? When researching for your niche, you need to take a few things into account. Do their margins allow them to spend 5k on marketing every single month? If they don't, I know some sort of businesses, their margins are really low, so it may look like, okay, they make 90k a year, but they actually only make like 2k profit, right? Are there 25k businesses nationwide? Obviously, to make sure that there's enough to actually serve to. Your favorite guru has not said it. That's a very key one. So we're obviously not going into the oversaturated market. Niche inside of niches. Like I said, if we're going for garden products, go for lawnmowers, okay? So go inside of an actual niche that you're picking, and then maybe you can broad out after. But if you go niche at the very start, that's how you can really scale to that 10. And then from there, you can probably unbroaden a little bit. Requires leads or awareness. Obviously, you need to bring them leads, or we need to bring them awareness. We need something that we can actually track. Is that awareness? Is that leads? What's that direct ROI, which we can go back to them and show them? And then growing niche, as in people getting into the niche every year. How many businesses are being opened every single year? Because if it's on a decline, people are going to be looking to get out of it, and not many people are starting it. So it may be getting worse and worse every single year, right? These are some important factors to go off. Use this website. So I've linked this one here. It's a niche down one where you can actually just pick up. It's from 1,000 niches. So if I'm like, okay, let me civil engineering, what does this do? Okay, and then I'll do some research about it. I'll be like, what's the average yearly income? What are the margins, etc., to find out, okay, does this meet the checklist? Does it camping, stuff like that? Okay, then we can obviously find a niche around that. Okay, so that's the markers that we need to go off. So we need to pick between the two for short form content agencies. Do we go for personal brands or do we go for businesses? These are the main two that we're going to be going for. For personal brands, 90% of the time you're going to be selling their course. So short form content with appointment setting, community building, webinars, mass content, etc. to sell that. All businesses are going to be looking for, more into short form content with ads, email marketing, UGC content, stuff like that. So it's your choice what path you pick. Both are very good. Personal brands are probably a little bit more oversaturated at the moment because no one seems to want to be doing like ads, email marketing, UGC content. So if you are someone that wants to take on the challenge and obviously wants to scale fast, I'd recommend you go for businesses. But again, if you are just thinking, okay, let me try to get to 5, 10K, go for personal brands. It's probably quite easy. So that's for the niches. I'd recommend you go spend a day or two on niches because it's very key. And if you don't pick the right niche, then you're going to fail because of, like I just mentioned, it's very, very important. So make sure you're picking a niche. Make sure you're not copying from others. That's my main point in it. Just don't copy from someone else. That's how you're already 10 times further than the person that did copy, okay? So step 2, craft an irresistible offers. This is what makes an irresistible offer. Okay, we need reach, nurture, sell. Your content's only goal is to reach and bring people into your client's community. This could be as simple as a follow, as long as they're in the loop. Okay, by community, I mean this could be we have info from them. We could have an email. We could have a phone number. They could come into a community. Just some way that we can directly access them instead of just a follow, because that's quite hard to access them. But we need direct information where we can, if we wanted to snap of our fingers, we can go and actually get what we need to get off of them. Nurture them with free content, free lead magnets, offers. Just warm them up, warm up to the client, right? It normally takes 7 hours of content to purchase off of someone. So this is why sometimes I do recommend, okay, can we add the long form in, or do they do long form as well? Otherwise it's going to be quite hard to convert them. Can we help do webinars and stuff like that to get these hours in? Because obviously it's not always 7, but if we're just doing short form, I don't think it's enough for you to get to know their personality, for you to get to know them, that would actually make you purchase off of them, okay? Sell. Now you want to sell them. This could be a webinar, community, appointments, ads, just content alone. But you just need a trackable ROI, okay? If we can't at this point in time be like, look, this month we made you this much money. This month we got you this many leads. This month we got you this many warm clients, okay? If we can't show them a direct ROI and trackable ROI that we are producing for them, then they're going to leave us, okay? That's what the problems come to at the moment is like, okay, short form content, there's no trackable ROI. Freelancers are taken over because of that, okay? It's more of a convenience offer than an actual reach offer. And I mean, some of the freelancers are even good because they get the reach as well, right? So I'd make sure that you actually have a converting mechanism that sells them. And again, like I said, at the end of this video, I will be showing you a bunch of offers that do have that converting mechanism that will allow you to obviously scale and do these 5K, 10K deals one time for a month just because of how good you've made your offer. So how irresistible offers have changed, okay? When I first made my video, an irresistible offer was just short form content, as it was hard to produce and no one had figured it out yet, meaning if you just offered, you would obviously scale because that's how demand and works. And so the freelancers making it a commodity right now for everyone to have high quality short form content for very cheap, making it a price race to the ground. Yes, it is possible to have short form content clients. We do, but I would not rely on it. And you need to have a personal brand to leverage, okay, to get these types of clients, because you'll be like, look, I can do this, you can do that, right? It is possible. You can land short form content clients. But trust me, when you now say the price that you'd say before, which makes it actually worth doing, they'll just laugh at you, right? There's no point doing it anymore unless you add stuff to it. Like I said, I'll show you at the end, okay? All we need is an offer with a direct ROI. Just producing the service, such as we do 30 pieces of short form content a month, is a convenience offer. So they need the cheapest prices, as it is just saving them time, okay? They don't care about anything else. It doesn't mean anything to them, right? And that's a bad place to be in. What you want is an offer with a direct ROI. So if they do not pay you the service next month, something will drop, okay? Normally their revenue, which they do not want, okay? So if my client dropped me right now, they would lose their converting mechanism, okay? So they may go from, okay, we make 8K a month with this service. We may go down to only making 2K a month now. That's a big shift, and that's because they've lost us, okay? And that's what the problem is. If you look at yourself right now, if they dropped you, what would happen? They'd just go get another editor, right? They probably wouldn't lose much. Think of how much you're charging. What do you bring them back? Oh, but no. What do you actually bring them back, and what can they replace you with? They can just get a freelancer and probably do it cheaper, okay? If you can make someone more money than your service price and requires no effort, then it's obvious an irresistible offer, right? You're making the money for less than they pay, right? You'll pretty much just make printing free money. Okay, so that's what makes an actual irresistible offer. Obviously you can do it with other stuff, but revenue is probably the best thing that you should be targeting, because everyone wants money. Okay, if you can come to someone and say, look, we can make you this much money, they're going to say yes. It's the only thing that makes sense, right? How to write a converting headline. So this is for your headline with your irresistible offer. Okay, so the first part of the headline is all about who you are targeting, and you're obviously going to be calling them out. So you want to start your headline with at agencies helping niche, growing niche, scaling niche. Okay, you get the idea, which you can maneuver, but it's pretty much you calling out your target audience. So when they see it, they're obviously going to be quite intrigued and obviously going to then read the rest of it, and they're pretty much instantly hooked into what you're selling. So step 2 of this, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing at agency helping niche, book, and then your offer. Okay, so book 30 appointments, doubling your revenue by building systems to generate 10k a month. This is what saying to the niche you were targeting, what pain point you were solving. The more pain you solve, the more likely they'll purchase off you. If we're targeting, let's say, agency owners, not many agency owners can book appointments, okay? And to be fair, not many can close them. If we change that headline to closing 10 plus appointments a month, an agency owner would be very, very obviously happy with that, doubling your revenue. Coaches and consultants would be very happy with that, right? So that's obviously something that you could do. You need to make sure you obviously have the systems, but you can start calling them out and telling them what you have to offer. And then for the third bit, you want to do it in the time frame. The less that the reduced time frame that you're going to be doing it in reduces the risk perceived and the estimated value. Okay, because if someone's like, okay, 90 days, if it goes wrong in the first 10 days and I don't like them, I'm stuck in there for 90 days. So that increases the risk. And if in 90 days instead of 30, it's going to triple the price. Okay, so obviously instantly looks like a lot more money. If you're very big in the space, I'd recommend you do it. But if you are just getting started, 30 days, I would not recommend you going above that for the reasons I just stated, right? So number 4, this is optional if you want to. You don't have to, but it's where you add a risk reversal. So or you get your money back, or we only get paid when you do. The best thing right now is obviously doing it pay per appointment. So let's say we are doing a monetizationable system. We only get paid maybe a rev share of what we bring in, okay? So let's say we track every single person that we sell, and they're selling a $500 course, and we sell it, let's say we sell it 10 times, we made them $5,000. We get 20% of that, okay? So it's just about figuring out what do we actually do, what do we get, and how do we make this risk-free, okay? Risk reversals can obviously be very helpful. You do not need them, but it can definitely help if you've built the right system in place and you're very confident. We had someone ask the other day, like, oh, should I do it or not? Like, I'm not don't do it if you're not confident, because you're just going to lose money. But if you are confident, I'd make sure you obviously add one to book more calls and obviously close more clients. Now, step 3 is the agency acquisition of how we're actually going to go and get these clients. So the 4 best acquisition systems are social media outreach, content and free value, email and ads. Social media outreach is easily number 1. There is too much to leverage, and the ability to message anyone for free is very key while they can still find you. And the amount of leverage that you have is just crazy. Okay, if every single time someone's going to click on your profile, they're going to I'm going to show you now. They're going to scroll through. What you can see here is obviously my profile. And as soon as I outreach to someone, they're instantly taken here. So if they want to scroll down and be like, okay, so he makes the content himself. He's got VSLs. I can see what he's doing. Obviously see the content and see the VSL that he's doing. I can go and click on this. I can see what his headline is. I can go onto his website. Right, what else can we do? We can see his results and stuff. Like, there's too much to leverage on Instagram, and like, not even Instagram, right? I probably won't be logged in on Facebook either. Okay, so so that you can see everything that I'm doing for my clients. Facebook as well, we can see, obviously, again, it's the exact same thing. So if I'm outreaching on Facebook, you can obviously go and see what I'm doing. Same with Twitter. Every single sort of social media that you can sort of leverage. I don't want to do that one because I am logged in. But Twitter again, right? If I'm outreaching on Twitter, I'm trying to get inbound leads. People will come to me very simply, right? Because they'll just go through what I'm doing. They'll be like, cool. And you can obviously leverage that. So social media is probably the best one and the one that all of you guys will use from the start. And I would obviously recommend you use it as well. Content and free value. Content can be leveraged for inbound leads coming to you. You can either share free value in return for emails to retarget prospects. Okay, we have an email list of, I think it's like 700-800 now, where we can continuously retarget them. We also have obviously a bunch of content where, I mean, like, between the two of us, the amount of content there is crazy, right? So if I was scrolling through here, right? There's no way you're not going to click something. If I go on Luke's channel as well, there's no way you're not going to click something. We've also got the Discord with 2,000 people in. I think it's about 2,000 now. So it shows again that we do it ourselves. So if you go on this massive loop, no, that's the wrong thing. Where's agency network? If you obviously go on like a rabbit hole and look through us, you can see that we do this all ourselves, and we leverage this ourselves. So if we've got the content and we've got everything to back it up, even if I'm just outreaching and they go through that content loop, it'll show them everything that I do, which is obviously me leveraging that again, okay? And then we've got emails. Emails can be a great way to outreach, as it targets a direct person you want to speak to, and not as many as people do it as social media, especially for short form content. I personally don't know if it's the best strategy that you could use, because there's not as much to leverage and stuff like that. They don't go off the back of an email to then click on your profile, and not many people like getting cold emails. They don't really like getting cold outreach, but having a profile and stuff like that warms them up a lot more than an actual cold email would. Okay, so you can do email if you want to, but it is obviously another great way that you can obviously use to actually scale your business and use it as acquisition. Okay, now we've got ads. Every guru will tell you to do outreach, but every single person that you know does ads. There's no way your favorite SMA YouTuber outreaches. Like, think about it. You've probably seen them run an ad, right? Okay, and that's the reason for it. Everyone runs ads because, let's say it costs me, I think Kai Bax made a video the other day, and it was about $1,157 his acquisition cost was to close a client, and that was, so it was like $200 for like a prospect. It was like $500 to get them to book a call. It was like $750 for each qualified prospect, which made it per close it was 1,000 whatever. So if he's spending let's say $1,200 per closed client, and he's charging, I don't know how much he charges for his offer, but let's say it's like 5K, you've instantly made 4K profit. Let's say service delivery is a K, you've made 3K profit. Okay, you're running quite high margins, even if I think it's a lot more than that. Okay, so yours would probably be less if obviously that is quite high, but yours could be less, and it could be only, I don't know, $800 to acquire a client, because your service is $2,500. Okay, I think his is very high. So yeah, I'd recommend you run ads. I wouldn't run them unless you have 10 to 20 clients already, which it probably isn't most of you, but that means your offer is validated by the market. We're literally about to launch ads very, very soon, and that's what's going to take us from 10 to 30. Okay, so when you're around probably 10K, I'd recommend you start looking into ads, start running ads, because it's pretty much, if you can do them right, if you can get it done right, it's pretty much printing money. Okay, if you're closing a client for 1.2K and you're selling them on a 5K package, then it's an infinite money glitch, right? If you look at it that way. So they're the 4 best acquisition systems. Start off with social media and content, 100%. And then when you get a bit further in, we can look at emails and obviously ads as well. How to write converting outreach messages. You have 2 methods which you can leverage when outreaching. This is for the social media. We have the direct approach, which I personally use because I personally prefer it. This is where your messages with the offer straight up. This can work well if you have a very good offer and you're targeting your ideal prospect. This is what it looks like. Okay, before I say this, everyone at the moment is talking about using the conversational approach, which I will show you, and I have used before. It's great. But if you have a profile that's very good and you can leverage, and you have a very good offer with very good proof, and it's as good as what we do, then you can actually do the offer straight away. Because I understand like, oh, you've got to bring them back from the reptilian brain to the neocortex, right? At the end of the day, if you have it locked down and you're doing the same thing, no matter what, you're going to send them an offer. Okay, at the end of the day. And I know the people that are saying that, like, I'll bring them from the reptilian to the neocortex. I've had outreach from them before, and it's always the direct approach, okay? Which is what's funny to me, but it's always a direct approach that I get from them. So yeah, that I found that a little bit funny, okay? So, hey, first name, and then first line, obviously, to just build that rapport and show that we're targeting them. Do you have a system in place which generates you 5 to 10 high-ticket appointments a month? I like asking the question in the middle bit. Just to be like, look, do you have a system in place which generates you 5 to 10? Just to make them think about it, okay? Not, oh, we offer. Oh, right, nice. That's nice that you offer that. Do you have a system in place? That's all I'm asking. I can send you over a 3-minute video on how we did this and then I like to send an example. So if I'm like, I remember one, we can send it over for name, who we helped add an extra 8K MRR on in 1 month. Can I send you? I like putting a 3-minute video. If it shows a short amount of time, And it just makes them click it and respond more. Okay, it works better. I like this approach, but as it's straightforward to the point, and you're not trying to build fake rapport like the conversational approach, but both work. Okay, I'm going to be a little bit more biased for this, but if you do have no profile to leverage, I would recommend probably the conversational approach. I can't lie. You use the direct if you've built yourself up a little bit. For conversational, this involves when you're starting off with a normal conversation, building to present your offer to them. This is what it would look like. What services do you offer? Are you taking on more clients? Now, yes, this does work, but obviously sometimes what the problem is, they've already seen it about 1 billion times and they know you're trying to build fake rapport. Okay, so I don't like how that is. They know you're building fake rapport. They don't really care. 2, sometimes they don't even start the conversation and you're just wasting your time. Sometimes just messaging them straight up saves your time and their time. So in the full grand scheme of things, let's say you book more calls with conversational, it probably took you more time to actually book that call than if I was just directly offering it. Okay, there's some openers that you would initiate a conversation with them. People like this method as it gets more replies, but actually qualified book calls, it doesn't really change too much, right? If someone replies back to you, are you taking more clients? If I reply back to you, yes, it looks like everyone's replied, right? And it looks like you have a really high conversion rate, but how many of them are actually booking calls when you send the offer in the end, okay? Pick whatever you prefer and do it on your own data collection. And I like being authentic. I really like just the upfront approach, the offer, and I like adding the question to be like, look, no, I don't. I'm not really looking for it now. And then I can approach it from there and be like, oh, look, we don't even know if this would fit you, but we could, right? So I like converting it that way instead of the conversational approach. But like I said, do your own research. Leveraging content and trading systems. We are selling content, so the best way to get clients is to show that we can do it ourselves, okay? We don't want to have these like random social media accounts. If we're going to outreach on social media, it needs to be us. We need to be showing that we can do short form. We need to have some sort of brand behind us, okay? And that's what we need to be doing. This is why content can be the best way, not for only inbound leads, but to help our outbound prospecting, okay? When they look at our profile, like I showed you, it's fully optimized, then they have more chance of replying. Mainly leveraging content will benefit you in 6 months to a year, bringing them inbound leads. Your agency will continuously book calls, even if you stopped outbounding. You don't want to be a slave to outbounding your whole life. And also with content agencies, you're going to want to have content in the future just to show that you can do it yourself, okay? So I would always recommend you doing content, even if you don't want to. I've seen people literally hire other people to do it. I've seen people get their friends to do it. I've seen so many ways to get around it. I would just recommend you do it, okay? That's all I'm saying. What we can do is start to collecting people's informations, emails, phone numbers, etc., and get them into communities. This will allow you to contact them at any time with sequences to sell them your service in the future for as long as you have their email or phone number, right? To do this, what we can do is we offer free value to our niche that we're targeting. So let's say we're targeting coaches. If a coach is paying at that point so that they really can't figure out how to do hooks, we'll offer a free hook sheet, which I see a bunch of people doing. So let's say 40 hooks in exchange for an email. Now, they only give up an email, which they don't really care about. But what you now have is their information where you can target them and message them at any single point when you want, okay? For them to get the hooks. You can build this up to thousands of people with the tip of your fingertips to sell to. As for the community, when they are in it, you can host webinars and calls selling them on your service. So maybe first we could do that even inside of so let's say I had a free Facebook community, and I think that'd be better if you're targeting people, because a lot of people use Facebook instead of maybe Discord and stuff like that if you're targeting coaches and people. But what I'd do inside there, I'd be like, look, 40 hooks inside the Facebook community. They try and access it. You got to put in some information. Bang, they get the hooks. You got to put in this, you got to put in that, right? I would recommend this very, very, very highly for you to do and build that community, because let's say you have 1,000 people in there of all coaches. Let's say we're just targeting coaches. I don't know. We're targeting dating coaches. There's 1,000 dating coaches inside of this Facebook community, which I can access at any point that I want. I could be like, look, today we're doing a webinar on how I booked a dating, how I helped a dating coach book 20 appointments in 1 month. People are going to go there to see how he did it. But at the end of the day, you can sell your service at the end, because the people that are be like, oh wait, that looks very difficult, but I want to scale, and they help this person scale. It's pretty much doing a whole sort of case study and showing, look, I can do this for you if you just pay me. And that will obviously convert. So it's about thinking about different ways that we're going to obtain clients, and not just thinking outbound, like it's been drilled into us so much. We need to think of actual sustainable ways which we can obviously get clients, because outbound is not sustainable. So number 4, we've got closing clients. We've booked the calls. Now we're going to close the clients. So closing your sales call. What you're trying to do is find the pain point which your service can solve and dig into it as deep as you can. For example, if a business has been stuck at 80k per month for the last 6 months, that is a pain point for them. So they are willing to do anything to solve it. If they're seeing people, and this is why I say niche down so much, if they see people in the community and in their niche, that are doing better, if they see someone in the niche who's maybe only done it for 1 year and they've been doing it for 3 years and they're at 100k a month, they're only at 80, they feel like they've done something wrong. It could just be luck, it could be anything, but that is how you sell your service. That's a pain point, okay? It doesn't have to be extreme. If you can just build on the pain, then I feel like as if it needs to be solved, such as I have no time, okay? You could talk them into believing that that's the reason that their sales team is not closing, they don't have adequate training, they're losing thousands just because you don't have the time to train them. If you don't have a pain, there's no way you can sell anyone on anything. Every single decision and every single purchase is an impulse purchase. If you think of anything that you've ever bought, there was a split second, 2 to 3 seconds before you actually purchased it, which your brain pretty much set up an impulse, right? Your hand just moved, right? You didn't think about it, nothing happened. And a little bit after, you're probably like, should I have brought that? Probably not, right? And that's just how impulse decisions work. And you've got to understand, okay, what did that company do for me to get that impulse to buy it? What was going on in my head? How did I sell myself on it? Okay, so we've got to find that pain point. Okay, obviously the pain point is built up bigger for me to actually buy. Okay, I brought a wire thing the other day for my desk, completely random, right? But my pain point was the wires were on my feet and it was annoying. That pain point was so deep that I was willing to buy a solution. So if you can build up that pain point for them, then they're going to buy the solution, if that makes sense. Watch a lot of videos from people who sell as they do it for a living. I would never take sales advice. Obviously, I've given you sales advice. I'd never take very deep at sales advice from SMA owners because they don't sell every single day. Normally, they have a sales team or someone like that. And we're even going to hire a sales team because at the end of the day, if you want to be a good seller, if you want to do something well, you need to do reps and reps and reps. And if you're not selling every single second of the day like a full-time job, then you can't pick up on cues, that you can't pick up on data, you can't pick up on ways that you can actually sell better. So I'd recommend the book Spin Selling for you to read, and then I'd recommend you to obviously have a look into actually sales and stuff like that. And people who actually sell for a living, because they know a lot more about sales than obviously we would ever know, right? So that's for closing your sales call. What we want to do after this is build a presentation to show them what we do, okay? So first, we show them what we do. Here you want to reinstate your headline and make sure they know what you're doing. You want to put your headline after your sales script. So you put your sales script at the start. After that, we're going to ask them, look, can we share a sales presentation with you? You share it with them. So when you open it, obviously we want to have the headline and reinstate what you do and your main goal with your clients. Look, our goal is to book 20 calls a month for you, blah, 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 right? Number 2 is the team. Show who you're working on. This builds trust as it shows that there's a full operation and it allows them to become familiar. Okay, what you'll see in this presentation bit is a lot about becoming familiar It's a lot about becoming familiar of who you are and what you do, okay? Because people love familiarity so much that they'll choose it over anything, okay? We love comfort. That's literally our innate primal desires, is to be comfortable. We want to hunt the lion, get in our cave and sit, okay? We need to be comfortable and not scared, okay? So if we can become as familiar as we can on the presentation, then it's more likely that we'll actually be able to sell them because they're already familiar and they're not scared or nervous or anxious, and they don't have them emotions holding them back from actually signing on because they know what's going to happen. Then we have the systems. We want to build out the systems and present it to them. Again, this builds trust and shows that you can deliver the service while also getting them familiar of how you actually service deliver with the systems that you have in place, okay? So as for systems, results, again, showing that proof of concept and it working for others, builds that trust and belief it will work for them. And again, reinstates that, look, other people are doing better than you. You're slacking. The reason you're slacking is because you don't have my service. Buy my service now, okay? So that's pretty much what the results do every single time. It's just showing, look, so someone else is doing 10 times better than you. You're not doing that good, okay? Onboarding, assume the close and show them the onboarding process. Again, this helps them become more familiar. Someone is more comfortable. They feel joining as people love familiarity. Okay, so if you can make them, if you can show them what happens, who you meet, what channel you're in, what would happen over the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, what our goals are, how we'd communicate with you, is there a sheet that we use to show that we're tracking up to date, when do you get your refund if it doesn't go well, etc., etc. Just show them what would happen, again, so they're familiar with the whole thing, assuming the close. And then closing at the end. Ask if they have any questions, and again, use your presentation and their previous answers to combat them. So if they're like, okay, so if the pain point you're digging into is they can't scale the business, okay, they find it really hard to close more clients, then you can use that against them. Be like, look, but Daniel, you said that I can't do it right now, but right, so it'll be like, oh, Daniel, previously you said that you were struggling closing more clients, and this was obviously having an effect on X. This was having an effect on you building this team that you wanted to build. I don't know, right? This has an effect on you building your acquisition team that you wanted to build, which would help you book X amount of calls, blah, 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 right? So stuff like that is just linking back. You'd obviously need a real scenario, but I think you get the gist, okay? So bringing the client on board, this is very important, and the onboarding process is very important. After this, we will go into the offer, which is very crucial, so make sure you stick around for that. That is literally all we've been waiting for, okay? So the onboarding process is very important to the rest of you and your client's relationship, okay? If you have a shaky onboarding process, the client will want to leave ASAP, as it unconsciously plays on their mind that you may not even be able to get results if you can't send them the right link, if you can't get in the right channel, if stuff like this happens. That's why we need to test it over and over again, because it will increase the chance of them leaving subconsciously. They feel nervous. Off the jump, you've instantly gone from them feeling comfortable to them feeling very, very nervous about the next month that's about to go on, okay? This is why it needs to be simple, it needs to be easy, it needs to be automated. Communication channel, send and make sure that they're given the right link, welcomed by the team, make sure the team always, even if the team has an automated message inside a Slack that they use by using like an AI bot, cool, that's all we want. We want to make sure they feel welcomed by the team. A form sent to understand everything to help get results. Again, we want them to feel comfortable, so we can send them all the sheets that they need. Okay, so these are the sheets that I'm going to add you to the Google Sheets. That obviously shares the data with you, and we can obviously track it so you can see what's going on and stuff like that. A call link to onboard and set up everything, accounts, etc., stuff like that, just to make sure that obviously they're in all the accounts that we need, we're in everywhere, and we can obviously set up everything before we get going. But yeah, just don't make sure this is all smooth, make sure it's all automated in the first place, so you don't have to worry about anything. So it's like a seamless process of them coming on, and then be like, okay, this is a sophisticated agency who's going to get me the results. Okay, there may be more for you to for you to do, right? But these are just the little things to work, being greeting, etc., just to make them feel comfortable, so they'll stay on a longer than with you than they hadn't if you hadn't done it already. Now for number 5, we've got service delivery and the winning offers, which I'm going to go through. I think the next slide is every single winning offer right now that we're going to go through. Yeah, it is. Okay, so winning offers you're waiting for. So these are all the ones that I would recommend you go for. These are the best offers at the moment, and most of them you compare them together. Okay, so number 1, we have community building. Again, Facebook, Discord, etc. Community building. Number 2, we have appointment setting, booking the appointments from the communities. Number 3, we have webinar building. Again, converting people in some sort of an event, getting tickets for it and stuff like that, going into the event, and then selling them on the event. Full content creation offer. This could be long form, thumbnails, SEO, stuff like that. It's a great one to do at the moment. Ads is a really good one. Mainly TikTok you'd be doing, and you'd normally pair something with UGC. So if you are targeting businesses, you do UGC content. Let's say you probably see them all the time. Let's say you've got a dropshipping product that is like a lava lamp, right? You'll do UGC content on it, you'll run ads to it, and then there you have a direct trackable ROI, right? And then max reach strategy, you'll probably see like Iman and that do that at the moment. We've got a client who's literally about to start doing this at the moment, where we're going to create like 10, 20 accounts for them, and we're going to change up the content on every single one just so their brand is absolutely everywhere. These are just a few you compare with each other, such as community building. 90% of the time you would have an appointment set up to convert the prospects into calls or paying clients. So I'm going to quickly run through how to service deliver for every single one of these and what I would do to pair them up and stuff like that to have the best offer possible, have the best agency possible, and what will actually scale compared to other stuff, okay? So monetizing the audience with community events and appointment sets. This is the longest one. It's a very popular offer right now, and you can switch and change between all of them. So firstly, we need to build this community, okay? Community building, the process in which you build a Facebook or Discord community where we funnel people into it to monetize them in the future. When someone is in the group, you have direct access to them while they are warmed up to the client and ready to purchase, right? If they've joined the Discord or Facebook group, there is that's their first step, okay? Reciprocating tendencies. If we give them value and they give us value back, then it shows that we're making progress. Okay, we're warming them up to the purchase. So firstly, maybe they dropped a like. That's their first bit that they've given to us. That's the first bit of value that they've traded with us. Next to follow. So that's a bit bigger. That's a bit of a bigger step. Now, if they're trading emails, if they're getting into communities, they're now one step away from selling. Okay, so that's why I say anyone in the community is very warm, because you're pretty much one step away from selling them. Okay. We do this by adding call to actions inside of our videos and offering free value to the niche inside the community so they join. You can have content strategies like 2 viral videos, okay, to reach a very broad audience, 5 semi-niche down videos, obviously targeting the bigger niche just to get more videos, to get more reach, and then the 3 hard niche down to their pain with our offer, okay? So let's say we're targeting, we can book appointments for coaches. We want to be free niche down to the exact problem, and this way on the onboarding we want them to fill out the form on who their ideal customer is, what their pain points are, etc., to make sure that we can target them properly. Okay, you get the system behind it. Community building isn't really a high ticket offer because it's a one-time thing. You build it for a one-time fee, a one-time service, and that's why we add all this other stuff. Sometimes they may even have community building already done for them, which is when we can't do that. And what we do is we just leverage in the community. It's not an offer. I don't see it as really an offer, but you have to offer it, right? If you get what I mean. You do, like, I don't know, a one-time fee for the Facebook building, Discord building. But after that, it's about what can we do inside of that. So that's appointment setting and events. Again, that's why I put it in the same one. It's where you normally go inside of the community you have built. Again, why we needed the community. And funnel people in and use an acquisition system to convert them into paying customers. Just how you'd outreach to them people inside the community. You want to build out the outreach scripts and sheet to track the data for them to use your appointment setter to, and outreach to the prospects, trying to convert them into either book calls or clients closed, which can be a part of your offer. Okay, so if they do have a booking call section to sales call, we could then do an offer and look, we'll do it on a pay per appointment basis, and every qualified prospect you can pay X for, depending on how much they believe a qualified prospect is worth. Okay, so that's a really good offer that we can obviously do as well, is because we're actually not only putting people into a community, which anyone can do, we're now converting it and actually adding that sort of monetizationable value to it, so they can obviously make money, which that's the trackable ROI that you want. Okay, you can also just do this in their accounts with the new followers they have, but it's obviously less effective because they're just followers. Anyone follows an account, so it's a lot harder. So I'd recommend a community because, like I said, they're one step away from actually buying something, and they're the most warmed up that you'd ever get. So appointment setting is a very good offer. You have to build out the outreach script, you have to build out the acquisition system, you have to build out the accounts and stuff like that. But once that's all down and you actually know, I'd recommend this for people that have booked calls before. They know how appointment setting works. They know how to actually outreach, not the people like, oh, what's the best script to use? You'll never get results. Okay, so appointment setting, you actually do need to kind of know how to appointment set. So I would recommend watching videos on that if you are going to choose this offer, etc., etc. For events are massive converters in revenue. If someone has an offer for $1,000 and you can get 500 people on the webinar, they're most likely going to convert around the 50 grand. Okay, and that's how it works. If they're that warm and they have qualified prospects on that call, which is your job to do, which is how you're going to target them with the videos. If you can do that for 500 people onto one, which is quite high, that is quite a lot, you're going to make probably 50 grand is probably quite a lot, but maybe I'd say $25,000 to $50,000 is what you're averaging going to make. This is the same as community building, where you're driving traffic, you're producing to somewhere. I like to add it onto the community so you can join and opt in. Okay, so maybe at the end of every single month you do a webinar on top of community building and funneling people in. I'd recommend having a template on how they could do their webinar. Again, this is learning a little bit about psychology and learning about, okay, what we want to do at the start, how every webinar goes, is a depressed image at the start of their old life and how upset they were, how unhappy they were because they had no money. Then after that, they show where they are now, how amazing their life is just because of that simple change that they're going to tell you how to do. Then when they tell you how to do it, they'll show you, look, do this, and they're never really that clear, and you just sort of show what you do. And then at the end, you sell the actual offer that helps you go from depressed and poor to fucking rich and happy, right? Then where you are now, okay? So this is locked inside of their course, so obviously you're going to help them sell. So events and stuff like that is a very good one. And that obviously all links in with community building. And what this all does is, it seems like it's gone off topic, but all you're doing is building that short form content to drive people into here. That's why short form content is so key if you add something to it, okay? Because short form content anyone do, you could outsource it, get a freelancer to do that. But what you want to be doing is building that community, helping them with that, and then obviously either appointments setting for them, building events, or doing both, okay? With these offers, it's all about, can we drive the right traffic into the communities and events, okay? Can we drive the right people there that would actually pay them, okay? So learn how to make videos directing to a target audience with their pain so they're qualified. And this is why that onboarding sheet is so crucial to find out, look, who are we targeting? How can we target them? And then that's your job to do research, okay? We're targeting 30-year-old people who would want solar panels, okay? How can we do that? Okay, views do not mean dollars. Targeted content means dollars. And this is why you offering views and people like, oh, you only get this many views, you do this, are the complete idiots, right? Because at the end of the day, I could get a video of 200,000 views talking about, if I talked about Andrew Tate, I could get 200,000 views on a video, right? Probably 1 million. But what will that turn into any monetizable value? Absolutely not. Where I can make a video targeted to my niche, very specific, which got 100 views, but I'd probably make, let's say I made one sale, okay? I've made $5,000. So 200,000 views has made me $0, and 100 views has made me $5,000. That's why views doesn't matter, and you guaranteeing views is the most pointless things ever, because there's no trackable ROI in it, because it depends on what you're talking about, not the content that you're editing, okay? So that's monetizing your audience with communities, events, and appointment setting. Now we have ads and UGC content. UGC content and ads can be a very lucrative offer for businesses, mainly dropshipping stores to sell their product. And since everyone dropships, you have a very large target audience if you can deliver the best results, okay? Personally, I've never used this, so I'd be very unqualified to obviously give you advice on the service delivery. But there are so many videos out there. I know there was a video from Grayson Lupus who did his own whole TikTok ad strategy. That could be a good one to look into. I know UGC is quite easy to get into as well. It's really not hard. You leverage communities and Facebook communities to find UGC creators, and then if you just learn to do ads, and it is really not that hard. You can. What I like to do, because I have seen this before and I've done it with other stuff, I'll just go onto accounts that are doing really well with UGC content and UGC ads, and I'll look at the ads and I'll be like, okay, well, they're doing this, they're doing that, and you can obviously adapt and go over that. I think that's always 10 times more better than actually more better. I think that's 10 times more effective than you going in and obviously watching a video, because they may never have done it before. But if you go to someone who's actually getting the millions of views and actually converting into many, many sales, if you go find that yourself, you can then see what they're doing and obviously not copy, but you can use it in what you're doing as well. All I will say is everyone is going for community building, so this is definitely more untapped, and I reckon it has probably a higher scalability than the obviously other offer. So I would recommend doing this if you wanted to, and get some research into it. But yeah, this is definitely a big one that I'd offer. And I don't see many people doing it because it seems a lot harder, but I think it is quite easy still to do. Max reach strategy, okay? You would have seen Ironman do this, and it is a process in which you have multiple accounts on every single platform, mass posting different styles of content, okay? So we could have a motivational one, we could have a clips one, so quote one, we could have a workout one that does it in black and white, one that does it in color, one that uses the text as only white, one that does colorful text, right? Just making it different every single time. This can be quite a high ticket offer, is something we are doing right now with one of our clients to grow their business, right? For this one, it's all about building a system in place which you can produce and post this much. Make sure you have editors, clippers, and schedulers to get the content done and out on the time. This is more of just an advanced system than anything else that you built out, okay? Because all you're doing is just creating content and posting at the right time. It just needs a good system in place. You can see over here, you've got Iman Gadzi moments, Iman Gadzi clips, Iman Gadzi, real Iman Gadzi, Godchild, Iman Gadzi clips, right? It's just a bunch of accounts about him. So my video on short form content service delivery will help you get better results. So this one here, if you go on my channel and look at short form content service delivery, have a look at that to show how you can obviously make your short form content go better and obviously get more reach and more views, etc. But obviously with the accounts, you will be making mass accounts, different stuff. You get the idea, okay? It's very simple to do. You want to make sure that they're always different, otherwise you will get shadow banned. Have a new style per account. It's very simple, but it's a very niche audience that would actually want it, okay? So it's probably quite hard to find people that would want this. The reason why we have the person that's with us is because we've worked with them before, and they just got £100,000 marketing budget to actually promote their business. So it is a business that we're targeting, not a personal brand, and they obviously want to do this. So it just depends on who you're targeting, who's doing it. But yeah, I'd recommend you doing this if you can. It's quite hard to do. But yeah, if you can get it right, like E-Man probably pays a lot of money. I know we're getting paid a lot of money for it. So yeah, I would recommend max reach strategy. But the niche audience is quite low. Okay, you may be competing with a lot of people because there's just not many people out there. So that's a max reach strategy. Now, full content creation offer, okay? I do already have a video on this, which you can go watch after this and get an idea of how service delivery works. But I will cover the main key points here and what you're actually delivering and hiring them team in place for this, okay? Content consists of long form, short form, thumbnails, SEO, scheduling, social media management, just taking their sort of whole social media presence and do it yourself. In my opinion, this is always going to be more of a convenience offer. Yes, you can turn it into an ROI offer, but I think it's quite hard. I don't think it's worth it, and I don't think you're going to be able to get that because people aren't. There's a lot less people doing it for an ROI reason that would be able to afford it. Okay, so it's more of a convenience offer, and you would want to target people who are quite wealthy in their business. Okay, just trying to automate social media. Okay, so if you look at like Ryan Pineda or someone like that, they're never going to do their social media. They're going to hire an agency to do it. So you're targeting not them type of people, but you get the type of people you're targeting, right? You can't really guarantee anything. You can really try if you wanted to. Like, you can guarantee a certain amount of growth if you're good. But again, I do just think it is more of a convenience offer, which makes it not as good because you can be replaced. But I do think it is quite good. If you can do them all quite well, it's a very good, very, very good convenience offer, okay? So that's pretty much it. You're ready to start working there. All the new offers, that's the updated version. That's everything updated, the acquisition, absolutely everything to what you should be doing nowadays. You already have all the source on the updated short form content structure. It's time to go and dominate the game. If you're still confused, I have many videos on my channel. Just go across or just let me know and I'll try and make a video to help you guys out. If you did find this helpful, join Agency Network below. It's completely free Discord, got a completely free course in. So if you do want to learn obviously more about SMA and short form content, I would recommend you go watch that. I'd recommend you actually take my advice. Few tips. Don't copy a niche. Use one of them offers, and obviously think outside the box on what you can do and how you can target. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But they're all irresistible offers. If you can actually make sure it's a trackable ROI, perfect. And then into an untapped niche, you're going to be selling forever, and we're really gonna scale. So yeah, that's about it. If you could like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.